Hey everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this video. To all 12 of you, welcome back and thank you. So, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 11, episode 6, and a lot went down on this episode. We could go through the party, how it starts. We can go through the middle where, Lisa and Garcelle meet up, and then Kyle and Sutton meet up. And we can go to the end at Garcelle's Haitian party. But what we really need to talk about is PK, the star of the episode. PK, also known as Dorit's husband, also known as Boy George's manager, also known as Erika's arch nemesis. Let's not forget, PK has it in for Erika since her first season and his first season. Or was it his first season and her second season? I don't recall, but let's just say this. Yeah, we can start off. The episode opens up with, the continuation of last week where Kyle basically forced Sutton to tell the truth. Be honest here. Be honest. I am being honest. I am. And Erika shutting down Sutton, basically. Erika, punking Sutton, for lack of a better word. Erika punked Sutton, okay? I'm trying to be honest with me. Do you want to be sued? And then, he's not dead, he's not dead. I mean, but Erika, he can come after you. I mean, like, with Erika, I thought he lost his marbles, like Martin. I thought he had some sort of onset dementia. So is Tom gonna sue Sutton? You can't talk about people, she said. You just can't talk about people. And Dorit, Dorit decides to chime in, but no one, it's like they put Sutton out there. They hung her out to dry. Because they all have feelings about Erika's stories being everybody in the world, if you heard that story, you would have problems with the story. Like Sutton. And I'm glad Sutton said something, but Sutton, you are definitely the fall guy in this situation. Because Dorit knows there's something up with that story. Dorit kind of chimed in. We didn't ask to be in this situation. From what you're saying, oh, that's not Dorit's accent. I did Southern trying to be British. That's kind of like Dorit. She's fronting with this British accent. Erika, we didn't ask to be in this situation. And Kyle chimes in. Kyle's always trying to play mediator, like, oh, everybody gotta be honest. We all gotta be honest. Like, her voice is a hard one to try to capture. But, And then Erika's like, if you do that again, I'm coming for you. You're threatening me. She's like, in Trading Places, this man is threatening me. If you watch Trading Places, you know that line. You're threatening me. It's not a threat. It's a promise. And she stops. Like, what was that about? This is the scene of Erika's career. Eileen Davis is somewhere saying, bravo. Although she was on Watch What Happens Live. I didn't watch it all because we know it was just going to be a lot of, oh, I'm shocked. I don't know. I mean, I've seen it, but I'm not sure about Erika, And then, Lisa Rinna, okay, everybody, take a breath. Take a breath. And then, Sutton's had enough because nobody's coming to her defense. Nobody's saying anything. And Erika is threatening her and, being the protected little princess that she's always been. She gets up. No way. No way. I'm not going to be threatened. Bye, Erika says. No. They start to chase Sutton out as they do in Real Housewives fashion. I guess they got to complete the scene. So producers say, go after her. And so all the ladies go after her. I'm not going to be threatened. No. Crystal chimes in with her 2 sentences an episode. I'm starting to feel like Crystal is the Escala of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Escala being on Real Housewives of Potomac. And so, they try to convince her to come in. Even Kathy goes out, you gotta come back in. I'm not coming back in. Then, Kyle comes out and Garcelle comes out. Do you see what she was doing to her? She was, let's just be clear. This sort of punkery would never happen on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, never. For one, it's not because they have the art of reading and they're black girls and black girls get all in your face with the neck rolls and the reads or whatever. It's because Erika will only punk who she thinks she can punk. And it has been clear since day one, just by her actions, that she knows, I can punk these ladies. I may live in this mansion with my 30 plus year older husband, Tom, who's an attorney. These women are not from where I'm from. They're not where I'm from. She's from the SWATs, Atlanta, Southwest Atlanta. And she didn't grow up with a silver spoon in her mouth. Not that anybody else did, but they definitely grew up in a different situation. Kyle growing up in Beverly Hills, that sort of thing. You know, social climate with her mom and everything. Dorit growing up in Connecticut with immigrant parents. Who else? Lisa Rinna from Oregon. Like, Lisa Rinna's been punked by Nene on The Apprentice, and I think Star Jones too punked Lisa Rinna. They're not used to this sort of talk, this sort of speech. And I do feel like Erika is adding her acting chops. So she's using words like coming for you, you know. It's like she's digging into the vernacular to punk these ladies. And she's done it. And like, let's be clear. She couldn't have done that to Nene. She couldn't have done that to Candy. She couldn't have done that to Portia. She couldn't have done that to Kenya. She couldn't have done that to Phaedra. She might have been able to do that to Cynthia, but not Cynthia's sister Mallory. Let's just be clear. This would have never happened on Atlanta. Never. So, you know, we come back from break and you see Lisa Rinna arriving at Garcelle's house. And like, what's this about? Like, I thought y'all were at odds. Like, why are you at her house? So then, you know, they start talking about the night before. And, you know, I honestly think Lisa came because they're like, hey, nobody else is going to take that trek to Garcelle's house. Garcelle apparently lives like an hour and a half outside of the city. And we all know LA traffic is horrible. So it probably took like 3 hours for Lisa Rinna to get to Garcelle's house. But she said, I'm your guy, producers. I'll do it. So that's why I think she ended up at Garcelle's house. So they sit down and they rehash. And Lisa Rinna's playing amnesia queen like Teddy accused Erika that season of having amnesia. Like, she doesn't remember anything that happened, as if she blacked out. Like, Lisa, you were totally present at that dinner. She said, I was so drunk. And they cut to her drinking. She wasn't even drinking that much. It's like, you've had more to drink than that, and you've been just fine, Lisa. So then they start rehashing, like, well, you know, no one had, you know, Garcelle's like, no one had Sutton's back. And she was like, well, you didn't have my back, you know, with Dorit. And then she's like, well, you upset me. You know, you didn't say thank you for the cake. And you didn't say thank you again for when Harry Hamlin and I brought over some sauce to you. Like, she wanted several thank yous from Garcelle. She didn't just want one. She didn't want one in the moment. She wanted a letter from Garcelle. She wanted praise for this sauce that Harry Hamlin made. And so it's like they go back and forth over this. And, you know, Lisa Rinna gets bucked. Like, she gets all exhibit. Bitch, please. Okay, she says to Lisa Rinna. So, you know, like, then we move on to Kyle and Sutton. And another opportunity for a conflict. They're at this Bonham's auction house, I guess if you will. It's a place with all these jewels and artifacts from around the world that were probably stolen from innocent people in Africa and Europe or whatever. Europeans stolen from Africans, whatever. So then, you know, they bring up the other night, you know, they were just being mean to me, basically, is what Sutton was saying. Everybody's not nice. They're just not nice. And Kyle always, we just wanted you to be honest. You weren't being honest. I was being honest. I told her I didn't believe the story. I didn't believe the fall. I didn't believe any of it. I told everything, but nobody had my back. Oh, where are you going? I'm walking away from this. Sutton walks off. She storms off. That's that scene. Pretty much typical scene. Rehash last night. Have another conflict to usher into the next thing. The piece de resistance is here right now. It's PK. PK and Dorit have date night. They discuss the new wedding gown collection, because I guess Beverly Beach isn't hidden, so she thinks wedding gowns would be another option, which I actually think wedding gowns is a great option. Why? Because wedding gowns are high ticket items. You don't have to sell that many to be successful. Then you have this platform. You think you're a fashion girl. Do the wedding gowns. You got to sell a lot of swimsuits to make a killing. Anyhow, so PK lays it out on the table. PK goes in. PK is really what Dorit wants to say, but Dorit, as most housewives, they let their people do the speaking for them so they can seem innocent. Like, oh, I didn't know. Oh, I'm so shocked. What are you saying, PK? PK talks about how Erika is basically disingenuous. And then you want us to feel sorry for you. It's the victims who basically need the help and not you. You and Tom are scheming. And with your provocative Instagram posts, you just have no level of, you're not self-aware, Erika, basically. That's not what PK said, but I'm just summing it up, and this is just the gist of it. PK was going in. This was this opportunity to go in on Erika because he still has it for her from Pantygate. PK wants to take Erika down, and he's been quiet for several seasons, but this was his opportunity to speak, and he said what he had to say. PK gave what he was supposed to give. So, thank you, PK. So now we move on. Let's just move on to Garcelle's Haitian party. You know, she wants to, you know, show the girls her culture. Unlike Ebony from Real Housewives of New York, it's, to me, a more natural progression. She's not going to try to hit them with history lessons. She's just going to feed them some Haitian food. And, you know, Lisa Rinna, she's the first to arrive. And she's like, well, it's a lot of seafood. And I don't eat seafood. I don't eat food like that. Meaning, I ain't going to eat this strange Haitian food. And it's a funny, wait, was this in the first scene where they're like, have you ever been to Haiti? I've been to the Bahamas. Haiti's not the Bahamas. You could have said you've been to Dominican Republic. That would have been more reasonable since they share the same island divided by a river. That would have been more reasonable. But I've been to the Bahamas. There are black people there too, right? That's what she was really saying. And I'm like, of all the islands, that's the only island you've been to, Lisa Rinna? I thought you were a superstar. Let me find out. Lisa Rinna doesn't get out much except for when housewives go on vacation. And I mean, I guess she doesn't really visit Harry Hamlin when he's in Canada filming, I don't think. So, you know, they say, who's going to be the last to arrive? And Garcelle says, I think Dorit, you know. So Dorit was actually the second to arrive. And they told her, Garcelle thought you were going to be the last to arrive. And, you know, of course, she's storing that in her memory. Oh, Garcelle, you thought it was going to be the last to arrive. Oh, ha, ha, ha. So who was the last to arrive? I think it was Kyle was the last to arrive. So, you know, they sit down, they have dinner, they, you know, her Haitian chef, Anushka, was it? Bushka, whatever, Manushka, came out, you know, she told them what the food was about. It was a lot of pork. So I probably wouldn't be eating that food either, to be honest, because I don't eat pork. And I'm kind of finicky about the seafood that I eat. Like, if it's not from the Gulf and it's not fried up or it's not in the bisque, I probably won't eat it. So, but, you know, the presentation looked good, you know. Who was that? Was it, Dorit said, Garcelle, are these flowers native to Haiti? These are clearly orchids. Like, and you know this. Oh, no, I just wanted a tropical vibe, you know. Oh, and so, like, let's just get down to it. Erika's in the house, Son's in the house. It's awkward. There's no speaking. It's all tense. Have you ever walked in a room where somebody you don't like is there? At least me, I turn everything internally, so I'm just like, I get anxious before, like, oh my God, such and such is gonna be there. I don't really want to interact with this person, but you do it anyhow because you're an adult. You might say, hey. Like me, I'm not a fronter at all. Like, I'll never forget somebody I had a conflict with. And she's like, hi, how are you? Like, hey, why are you doing this? You know we don't like each other like that anymore. You just could have just said hey and kept it moving. Hi, how are you doing? Like, girl, please. And she knew it was a joke because she started laughing afterwards. And I started laughing too, like, we're not friends anymore. But okay, I see what you're doing. So, you know, they ignored each other. And of course, when they finish dinner, they move on. Let's leave the dinner table. Pop! We're now in the living room because Garcelle's house is pretty small. It's an open concept. So, living room is right there. And so, by the way, I like those little broom things on Garcelle's wall. I thought that was a really nice touch. You know, I love interior design. Anyhow, but I didn't think it worked with her blue furniture. Like, what's going on there? Like, she has a lot going on in that house. But I did like that accessory on the wall. So they move on, and, you know, they get into it, as always, a little bit. And basically, Erika, Dorit, and who was that? Erika, Dorit, and who was the other person? Oh, wait, first of all, they were like, where is Kathy? Oh, she's not coming. And, you know, the funny thing is I was watching with my sister, and we're like, Kathy's not going to come out there. She's not coming. My sister kept saying, she's not coming to the hood, which Garcelle does not live in the hood. But Kathy was like, y'all not paying me to sit in the car for 3 hours or an hour and a half to go to Garcelle's house. No, that's not happening. I stay in Beverly Hills only. Okay? That's it. Beverly Hills. That's it. You're not going to get me to go to Bel Air. You're not going to get me to go to Compton. You're not going to get me to go to Santa Monica. You're not going to get me to go to Inglewood. Beverly Hills only. Because if you notice, she's only been at, did she go to Erika's house and Crystal's house? I know it was itching. So, Kathy, that's in her contract. I'm not traveling far. Anyhow, so these ladies abruptly leave. Oh, it's been lovely, like Garcelle. We gotta go. We gotta get out of here. It's nighttime. We gotta get back. So, but then Kyle and Crystal stay behind with Sutton and Garcelle. They bring up, and then Kyle's like, well, that wasn't right. You didn't even talk. Like, Sutton is like, I don't have to talk to her. If I was Sutton, I'd be like, I don't have to make up with her. She's going to jail. She's going to jail. What do I need to make up with Erika for? She ain't going to be around here much longer. She has legal problems she needs to tend to. And then Crystal made a good point. They were being cordial. They're being adults. They don't have to talk. And, you know, Kyle was like, yeah, I don't know. She's like, looking like, yeah, I don't know what show you're on. This is what we do on these shows, you know. We fight. We don't like each other, but because we're coworkers, we have to show up to work and pretend like we're friends and go to dinner and do it all over again and again and again. So, did the episode just end? I can't even remember, but I do know next week Erika has another story again about Tom that sounds ridiculous. She's like,